Good morning, everyone in this house. I welcome you to this interactive session plus troubleshooting and maintenance. In a quicker note, we are going to look at the previous session questions so that we can move together and going through the forum or the platform we had, UEFI, and we have the following question. Let me just go through while others still join. So we are moving through questions here. Someone is asking of the meaning of UEFI. The meaning of UEFI is Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. It's an advanced name for BIOS, and we know BIOS is a basic input-output system. So the way and manners you interact with your system in BIOS differs with that of UEFI. The UEFI enables user interface interaction, whereas in BIOS, it only allows the navigation through the use of your keyboard, not necessarily with mouse, but in UEFI, you can use mouse. So we are still moving through the questions here. All this is network. I need definition of troubleshooting. So someone was asking of the definition of troubleshooting, and troubleshooting we said is defined as the process of identifying and fixing errors or fixing faults on a computer system. So if your system has developed a problem and you've went ahead and identified such error, we already know the processes in which you can be able to identify these errors. Then you've identified them and be able to fix them. It means you have carried out a troubleshooting process on your particular system. So going forward again, so need for definition, just someone is saying just money. So someone is asking the first best practice of a hardware maintenance. So the first best practice of the hardware maintenance we said you need to perform a regular update, or you establish a regular scheduling troubleshooting. And here it brings about preventive maintenance, because once you're preparing a regular schedule of troubleshooting, and we said that you can do that weekly, you can do it monthly, you can do it quarterly. It depends on your need. So like my own, I used to do it almost every month. So at the end of every month, I will get air compressor or a blower in order to free air blockage from our from my system. And also I used to clean it daily. So whenever you see like you have a dust around it, you now try to at least wipe them out. So we have data backup and recovery. Data backup enables you, whenever your system gets fault, you can be able to come over and then have a kind of a recovery. So we almost do that in our WhatsApp and the rest. So where we can schedule for a backup weekly, we can back up quarterly and what have you. So once you continues to back up your devices, so whenever you want to retrieve them back, you can be able to as well as retrieve them. So we have what we call document maintenance activity. So whenever you want to document, you are carrying out a maintenance activity, so you need to perform documentation. So what has already taken place, what is the problem identified, and what solution have you profiled to these very troubleshooting process you have carried out. Then we have also what we call ESD, that is electrostatic discharge. This is the precaution that is always required of you to handle your equipment with care. So these are the first best practice for troubleshooting or for hardware maintenance we have. So I believe this question is being answered. So if this is one of your questions, please, you can drop a question answered. So someone is asking again that he's trying to turn on his system, and the operating is showing him that operating system is not found. So this is due to one or two problem. And the first problem is that whether your operating system is at fault. So if your operating system is at fault, it means you should reinstall or install another operating system of your choice on that very particular system. And the second issue is your hard disk has gotten crashed, or your hard disk is faulty. Maybe the jumper setting is loose, or you need to change the jumper setting and the rest if you're using HDD. But if you're using SSD, it means that the system is crashed. So all you need to do if you get this type of problem, first thing that will come to your mind is to install another operating system, or if you have alternative uh, hard disks or SSD that contain operating system, try to fix them and see if it works. Then you try to install operating system on the other hard disks. It refused, then you now jumped into conclusion that your hard disk is at fault or your SSD is at fault. So we are moving forward. So this is there just the same questions. UEFI is the same question. We said unified extensible firmware interface allows you to navigate just the way you navigate with your BIOS. So for those that can't hear him, turn on your mic. So all the issues. So someone is asking how he can go about upgrading his system. So first of all, you need to know that once you're carrying out upgrade, this one it has to do with a hardware related issue. So if you're carrying out update, it means you're dealing with software issue. So if it is a hardware issue, it means you're going to upgrade the system. In upgrading the system, it means you're going to get a better hardware component than the existing system. We give an instance. If you're using a RAM that is 1 gigabyte of size, so for you to upgrade this RAM, probably your system is slowish in nature, so you can decide to get a 2 gig RAM or get another alternative of 1 gig RAM, depends on your capacity. If it's a 2 gig RAM, you can get it, then you fix it on the expanded slot. We said we have PCI expansion, right? So the PCI expansion, these are the extra slots you can be able to identify on your motherboard. You've seen it when we are introducing COS 101. So those expansible slots are where you can be able to fix in your extra RAM. So once you fix it, it will now sum up to the existing memory plus the current memory. So it will now give you the total amount of, probably you are going to have 3 if it will install 2. So, and the same thing with the any other component. This is how you go about upgrading them, please. Okay, someone is asking about upgrading Windows. So in upgrading Windows, all you need to do is to go to the settings. Once you're on settings, look at the system update. So we call this one update, not upgrading. So once you are there, you can decide to look for your operating system upgrade or update. So, but alternatively, if you cannot get that, you can get an advanced window, assuming you are working with a PC that has Windows 7. So you can get an alternative window of probably Windows 8 or 10, and then try to install it. Once your computer requirements has that capability of installing that additional or that upgraded Windows, once they are compatible, it can be able to now pick. So we move on. The same thing, meaning of UEFI, we have been saying it. We have said that UEFI again, network setup. Step for upgrading system. We have given that. Steps of upgrading system, and then hand purple blue piece. I can't get this question, please. If is your question, please, you can decide to drop them. I can't get this hand purple blue piece. If it's yours, please make the question clear. So other example of computer peripherals are your mouse, your keyboard, your scanner, your printer, all what is connected to your computer in order to form a computer system is part of your computer hardware, a part of your computer components. Are we together? So someone is asking the meaning of ESD. We have given that is electrostatic discharge. So it's a best practice that you can be able to handle your component with care, right? So someone, I just glanced at this, I saw someone was asking which one is better to go for. Is it HHD or SSD? So if you are capable enough, you can go for SSD because it's very fast, and robust in terms of comparing their speed with HDD, please. So that is the full meaning of SSD. So we are moving still on these questions. So, and please, if you're getting this question clear, please you can drop so that at least we can move on together. So this is the end of these questions, and we have seen them a lot. Yes, it's possible to upgrade your graphic card. Updating your graphic card, you can decide to first of all try to at least go to your system manager, right click on this PC or my computer. It depends on which one you are using. Once you right click on it, move to manage. Once you're on manage, look for the system tools. You're on system tools, so look for any available graphic adapter there, right click and set update or upgrade. So it will scan for any available firmware there, then it will now update it. So if it is a kind of upgrade, you can decide to get external graphic card. Like I give an instance, I've been having issue with my sound, right? So I need to upgrade from the internal sound card to an external sound card. So I end up getting this piece. So if you see it now, this is an example of a sound card. It's an external sound card, a USB type. So it has both the microphone. You can see this is for recording, this is for recording, and this is for the output, input and output. So this is a good example of upgrading my sound card. So more light on how to upgrade RAM. It's like this session, we are going to spend all the session on this So the simple way of upgrading a RAM, I said, assuming you are having a system with 1 gig RAM. So you can at least go to the market. First of all, identify the type of RAM you are using. So once you identify it, you can even remove it and go with it to the market. You get either the same size or upgraded size. If it's a 1 gig and you are not you don't have that capacity of having 1 gig, you can with that 2 gig you can get 1 gig. So if you get another 1 gig, you sum it plus that one, you have 2 gig. So if it is a 2 gig you get, then you have existing 1 gig, so you can be able to pair them and have a sum of a 3 gig. So this is for getting that RAM. So on reaching your system after you have lose it, so we have expanded slot which we call PCI buses. On those PCI buses, I think if you are with your COS 101 manual, if you flip on it where you can be able to locate motherboard, you can see PCI buses. So on these PCI buses, we have close to your existing RAM, we have another PCI bus that is empty. So you can use it to fix in that your new purchase RAM. So once you fix it in, so it will now, after you've restarted the system, it will now sum it to the existing RAM. So, and I think we better move quickly. Is it possible to change my ZAM port number? Yes, it's possible, though this is not the part of the class we are on, but it's very possible to change your ZAM port number, assuming you're using 3306 and you want to make it probably maybe 3357 or whatsoever number you want. It's just for you to right click on the ZAM icon, move to your ports. You can see ports there, and then you navigate to change. But the idea here, once you change it, if they are probably coinciding with other servers, so it means you need to go to your CMD command, and then you restart this Zamport. So I think it's better. So the network was break up. So I don't know. Please, someone should drop whether we have treated hardware drivers or not. So if you have treated, please, someone should be able to drop what we have discussed in the previous listing, whether we have discussed hardware drivers or not. So if we have discussed on that, fine. We just move to the other part of this. So if we did not, then we now look for the next class, and then we move on. Someone was asking about the function or the meaning of CM or CMOS, in short, CMOS. This is a complementary metal oxide semiconductor. We said is a type of an oxide semiconductor that is usually this one we have a CMOS battery on our motherboard. That is a kind of a watch battery that we can be able to put in on our system. So whenever we remove it, you can see we'll be having a kind of is it a calendar and then timing of the system issue. So usually this control the inner time calendar of your system, and is usually reside on the motherboard that stores in basic input and output setting. So that is in a simple short. We have done it. So someone said we have done that hardware drivers. So let me look at this. Sorry. We are looking for resources. Hardware upgrade, we have done that too. So we have we need to look at the server hardware maintenance. So first of all, what is our server? If we talk about server, we are talking about the larger computer that you can be able to recite all your data into them, and all other computers, usually a dedicated computer system that all other computer can be able to access data through the network to this server. So we have what we are going to look here. We are going to look at the key component of these servers. We know the servers, then what are the components of these servers? One, in just like any other computer system, we have the CPU, we have the memory, we have all other like the RAM, the storage devices, the network interface adapter, that is NIC. So all this one, we have them on other computers. But what distinguish or what differentiate between our servers equipment with those other equipment is that our server equipment need to be more robust than our other computer system. So if we will be going by these questions, I don't know, maybe if it is a network or what, we set so that means CMOS battery stored BIOS settings. Yes, it stored BIOS settings and information even when the computer is, yes, when the computer is powered on, all your, that is why you see your computer used to go off and on, but your timing doesn't change, right? So this is because everything lies on the battery. So once you see that your system timing and the calendar used to be varies with your wristwatch or what, so it means you are having issue of this CMOS battery that is going down. So the definition again of this server, we said our server is one dedicated computer system that all other system can be able to access a data that are stored in a particular system through the use of a internet. So we are going to manage those data stored on that particular system. Once we said we've dedicated a system, and that system is being dedicated in such a way that we are going to be compiling data, we are going to be compiling issues or informations on that particular system. And then all other computer systems are going to be accessed through that. It means we have a server. So, and this server can be a physical, can be a cloud server, it depends. So we said we have components of these servers. The component of these servers didn't vary from the other systems we are having. The only difference is that it's advisable for us to have a more robust computer system than more robust server system than that of normal computer system. Please give me a moment. Let me attend to something here, and I'll be right back. Sorry, please. So sorry for the breakup. So we are talking about the component of the server. We need to have a CPU, we have memory, we have storage, and then we have network interface connector. So these are the components. So what it means here, your servers usually need to feature multi-core high performance than the ordinary system. So it needs to be robust. Your memory also need to be robust because you will continue to have hit and response. So people will be hitting the server with requests, and then also the system also is now responding. If we continue by these questions, you are asking very important questions. If we continue by this, it means we are not going to do this class, please. Someone is asking difference between client and server system. The server system is the dedicated system that every other computers can be able to access information on them, whereas the client system is those other component system that you use to access your. Now, as we deliver these lectures, we are delivering the lectures on a YouTube. YouTube have a dedicated server. So all of us now, we are hitting our request. I am sending information of this recording to the dedicated server of YouTube. So you, the clients now, you, as you're mounted like this, so you are the client. So the information you are getting from YouTube, it means you are accessing the data on the server. So, and it's now giving you feedback as a client system. So all other computers or devices that you use to navigate and then access information to your server are the client system. Please, let's move on. So the storage devices, the NCI, power supply, cooling fans, you need to have adequate cooling fan on this particular system. So and then at each of these three types of server, that is, please, if you need to ask any question, please, I beg you, if you want to ask any question, hold on with your question. The only thing, after the class, we are going to open room for question and answers so that we can continue with our question and answer session. Let's get this one on table, because if time permits us, we want to have another class after this one. Then after that class, then we are going to get our practical manual to have to go how to answer all these practical manual sessions we have, the exercise we have on our practical manuals. So please permit me, if you have any question, just hold on your question. You are distracting me. Let me finish with these lectures. We open room for question and answers. Then we have subsequent one class. Then we move with our practical manual completion. So thank you if you do understand what I say. So we have three types of servers. We said we have rack server, we have tower servers, we have blade servers. So we are going to look at them by brief. So if we said rack server is a very versatile server that houses within a rack. I will give you a good example of this rack. If assuming those people that have partake in INEC exercises, so you've seen there is a scenario where ad hoc staff used to go to a certain place, like a school or any dedicated place, in order to sleep over and then have a rehearsal of what they are going to do in the next exercise or morning exercise. So that very particular place, if you do remember your INEC exercise, it's called rack. Or if you're just within a community, you'll be hearing that those people are still in rack, they did not come in time, this and that. So this a rack is a very small place that you can go all over for a certain training. So your server now can be taken to that rack. Once your server can be able to domicile within that rack and render you services, so we call them a rack server, and they are very robust, and the typical rack server are designed in order to accommodate various applications and cyber divers. So this, it means that they are very uh, they are very compatible. You can just be able to move with this your you can be able to move with your rack server at any point in time. So we have advantages of this rack server. One of the advantages is like they are easy to move around. That is enhanced reliability. Are we together? In short, is enhanced reliability. You can be able to move around with your rack server. Also, it improve streamlined cabling. So in rack management tool, you can be able to simplify your cable organization so that you can be able to ensure efficiency. So the cabling is very seamless, where you can just have a cable just fix and plug without designing a permanency there. So, and they are effective in terms of cost. They are very low in cost while implementing this rack server. The disadvantage of this, they have higher power consumption compared to other servers, and they have maintenance challenge. They almost develop problem at every point in time because you usually carry them along. Probably the cable may get damaged and so forth and so on. So we have blade server, and in blade server, this is encloses hosting of multiple modular circuit board, which is known as the server blade. So this blade server, they are not common in our area. So their advantages is that space efficient design. So any small space you can be able to use it, and then efficient data cluster development. You can be able to utilize a small data on them. So they have interfaces where you can be able to interact with it. So if we talk about the disadvantages here, we have the initial investment. The initial investment is very crucial and very cost in implementing your blade, and also energy consumption. It also consumes a lot of energy in regard to the rack server. So the Tower server, this is the most robust server we have in place, and this is essentially integrated desktop computer with a substantial footprint, like all the activities that are going to take place in that. As a result, they boost higher CPU performance or higher CPU power, and they are also very fast in nature. So one of the advantages of this Tower server is that the upgrade is very easy to perform. Upgrade in Tower servers, because you can customize your upgraded whenever it needed. So heat dissipation, so it means it has a larger or a large capacity of your large capacity of power of fan processing. So fan processing there at least give enough cooling to the CPU on your Tower servers. So they are also very versatile applications. They can meet application requirements of a common servers that we are having. So the disadvantage is that they are very bulky in size compared to the other two servers. Are we together? So it depends. So you see this one now, is not there is no capability of moving them, moving with them around with the server. So complicated server management. Also, when in terms of managing the server is also very complicated due to the large volume of it. So this is what we have. So in summary, if we said we are going to differentiate these blade server, rack server, and the tower server. If we said we are going to differentiate them, like if we are going to take rack and blade. So in rack, these are two servers with similar identification, right. So the rack has a wide and short design, a very wide and short design, while in blade you have a small size limited computing component. This one is still asking question. I said we should just hold on with our question. I cannot be following all these questions at once. So after this, we are going to come back to the questions and answer session. We answer them. So distribution form factor is also applicable to rack, whereas your blade concentrated on a transfer data. So if we talk about the equipment performance and configurations of a blade server, it usually allows addition of memory, storage, and the CPU, which provides internally to the support expansion. So just as the component we have in the servers, the key components, the CPU, the RAM, the storage, the NIC, that is network interface card. So all this one, you can be able to expand them seamlessly in rack server. While primarily we use high performance data clustering in blade. So enhancing them is very difficult. So I will not log any comment, please. I will not log any comments, but we just need to be careful. So if we talk about the heat generation in rack, so if the heat determined by the number of servers in rack. So if you have many number of servers, the heat we know is going to be persist. So whereas in our racks, in our blade servers, so all these things, I think the best thing, if you have your exercise book close to you and you'll be jotting something, it will be good. All these questions you've been asking, it will not come to stay. Like you will even answer the question by yourself. But I believe most of you guys are just there, just listening to what I'm saying, and just to register your presence, you will be asking like questions, some unnecessary questions that we've discussed. But if you can be there, once you mention something once, I can be able to pick my attendance from there. It's not a problem. So if you just want to register your presence, please, if you just say hi once, it's okay for you. No need to be repeating. It's like you are giving me double work. So this is the key difference of these rack and blade. So, and also don't worry, this node will reach out to you immediately after the next class, please. I'm going to release the node, and I believe I've released one already. So basic server maintenance tasks. Why maintenance is important in server? So server maintenance is important because it ensures reliability, it ensures security. Reliability in the sense that it can be able to give us a robust data feedback. Security in the sense that it can be able to protect our data. And then optimal performance, it can be able to continue to provide optimum response or perform a robust activities. So regular maintenance of these tasks can prevent our hardware from developing fault. That is, if we continue to give regular maintenance, it means we are carrying out preventive maintenance. So the key maintenance tasks here, we have hardware inspection. We need to always inspect our hardware. You regular check up with the physical components damage. You run your CMD command to check for the hard disks. You can just use once you're in command prompt, you change your directory to the root directory by using cd dot dot or cd, or is it forwards or backward slash, it's escaped my mind, to change automatically to the root directory. But if you're changing your directory to the subdirectory, you just use cd dot dot cd dot dot until the